It's Mikko and Perttu, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Apocalyptica.
This is Mikko.
Puhun se saa sun äänessä.
Perttu.
So you guys just put out your 8th studio album, Shadowmaker. And this is your first time that you guys are using a dedicated singer rather than the guest vocalist like you've done in the past. So what sort of prompted that decision, and how did you guys, sort of hook up with Frankie, and how did that all come about?
Yeah, when we started to compose the tracks and move our thoughts towards this album, I think it was pretty clear for all of us that we kind of felt that we have gone to the end of the road of inviting a lot of guests into the project, because we felt that we want to make an album which is really concentrated just for our band, for ourselves, our inner musical souls, and for the music we want to do. And therefore basically this the concept idea came from that source. And Frankie we found throughout in quiet auditions, listening through different promising guys, and of course he turned out to be the most suitable voice for this band.
Very cool. Now, was your first show with him the Heavy Montreal show last year?
Actually, our first show was Guelph. Before that, fancy Guelph. It was a small bar, but we got one rehearsal show before that, and then we played Heavy Montreal.
I was at that show. It was pretty cool.
It was great. Yeah.
That was great. It was my first time seeing you.
Okay.
I've been a fan of Apocalyptica probably 15 years, but just never had a chance to kind of show. So that was fun.
But one of the benefits which we were really thinking with this decision was that we wanted to have the voice on the album which we can bring to the concerts as well, because there was no connections, and many times it felt that they are isolated songs that we do with people, and then
kind of like doing cover songs of
our own music, and we really wanted to concentrate on the own identity of this group, and combining all the elements what we have loved doing throughout the years. But this turned out to be the best solution. So Frankie is basically hired for 2 years, the album and all the tours. We don't know about the future. This band has always wanted to go and evolve with the even big steps sometimes, adding drums, adding vocals, whatever, because we have a huge musical urge of going forwards. So we cannot know about the future, of course, at this moment, but we are enjoying so much time. Frankie is fitting perfectly in a group, and he's an amazing performer, of course.
It's been very cool watching the progression, with each album as you sort of move on a little more. So it's going to be cool to see. And what was the writing recording process like for Shadowmaker?
It was great. When we started to write the songs, we were in a situation that we did not have a record company on the point, so we did not have anybody to tell us what we can do and what we cannot do, but we, just 4 of us, then we locked ourselves into our rehearsal room and started to make music. And we had kind of really good focus from the very beginning that now we want to make a certain kind of album. We want it to sound in a certain way. We want the music to be really specific, what we searched for that moment, and that all came from within the band. So it's really important album for us in that sense, because from the music to artwork, everything is defined by the band itself. And then after that kind of songwriting session, we involved in Frankie. Most of the songs were written before Frankie joined in, and then we got Nick Raskolinac, the producer, in, and we went to pre-production sessions to Nashville in Nick's studio,
which is actually particular about why I see actually that the full product is so determined and sounding clear in every sense, is the fact that this was the first time and only chance we have ever had to rehearse and practice with the vocalist. So we kind of felt like a real band, maybe even the first time in our career.
But it was great. The whole, I think it kind of stayed through the whole making of process that we were so bind together with the band and so excited and enthusiastic. We stayed in Nashville for 6 to 7 weeks then to record the album. We had a small hut on a hill, kind of really isolated from the rest of the world, and just really focused in making the album. And Nick, of course, his input was huge. He was really inspiring and person, and he gave a lot to this album and made us to be more than we could have been without him.
are you guys' favorite tracks off the album?
Now we have played only so far a couple of the new songs, but Shadowmaker, the title track, is amazingly a lot of fun to play in a live situation, and apparently it always gets the biggest reactions from the audience. My personal favorite from the album must be the ending track, Dead Man's Eyes, because it contains so much, some very mysterious spirit and soul. It's beautiful.
There's a lot, and I think the album for us is kind of old because the recordings ended somewhere in mid of October, and it
Actually,
was
November.
November, okay, and the mixes was done in until mid of January. So we have a strange relationship for the album at the moment.
Right.
But when we get to play all the songs live in live situation, then it will change again. But I think all the tracks will find their place also in the future.
So the tour's a little over 2 weeks old now. Any standout moments so far? Any really cool shows or moments?
For sure, yeah. This has been an interesting tour, getting on the road, of course, with the guys and legends like Nicky, and of course we get to play to fresh audiences, and that's always a good thing. Conquer new hearts for our cause.
Yeah.
But I think in general, interesting times. It's so exciting period anyhow, having the release now. We are so full of anxiety of playing the material for the fans. We are waiting so much for our forthcoming the headlining tour in May. We come back for nearly 5 weeks in States or something like this. So I think this band is just fully on fire. We are on flame, like when it comes to playing and creating music and enjoying times together.
You said the crowds are digging the new material.
Yeah, they do. I think you always say that if a band plays too much new material, audience get bored. But I have always felt that not our audience. They are waiting for the new songs. And there I would actually somehow try to explain that I have had always the feeling that those who ever like or love Apocalyptica, they want to evolve with us. And therefore, actually, those people who don't turn their backs to our strange changes or whatever, they evolve with us, and therefore, actually, they are really, really hungry for this new material as well. And
the best response, I would say, also, we of course play a short set as we are support on this run, and we only play 2 songs from the new album, but almost the best reactions, of course, excluding I Don't Care, which is obvious hit song, but out of the other songs, they get really good response.
Yeah.
It's fun to play.
And that's always a good sign if a person never heard a track but they get so into it in live. You just know then that we did something right with it. Yeah.
Now nowadays it's kind of easy to find a string tribute to just about anything you can imagine. But Apocalyptica is definitely the first time I ever heard anything like that, especially a heavy metal tribute. Now, 20 years later, is it something you ever imagined that this was going to sell 4 million plus albums?
I think we never expected in any change, any corner where we have been, we have never expected actually anything, because the entire thing was kind of like accident. Just meant to be that 4 friends, or back then actually there were 5 guys who were whomever coming to drink beer together and play our favorite music, Metallica and Sepultura. So just fucking weird idea. So nobody expected ever anything, and after these 20 years I think it's just hilarious to actually consider that where all we have already been, and all those opportunities and possibilities to work with amazing people, see the world, play to unbelievable beautiful crowds everywhere. That's, of course, in that sense it's much more than ever expected, but we always just wanted to follow the feeling, okay, and also to accept the fact that even we have no fucking idea how to use the cello in this music. We always had to create those rules and then to break them and go further. And I guess that is the reason why we have been so like passionate on going on and making more albums, making all the tours, because there always has been this feeling that we develop the cello in our little way we developed this instrument further on, and it's our task and duty kind of continue it.
So it's so cool. You started off playing Metallica, and then a few years ago, they invited you guys up at the 30th anniversary. How was that whole experience?
It was amazing, and just to have a little bit of rewind, actually, kind of the coolest part started already 96 or 97. The guys had their 5th gig, and that that 5th gig was to support Metallica in Finland. So they already back then they knew Apocalyptica, and kind of their 30th anniversary is very meaningful for us. Also for the reason because all the bands who opened up for them during that week, what they played in San Francisco,
they were Merciful Fate and Diamond Head, and
they wanted to have bands which have been influences to them, and kind of to be named to be one of those. How small part ever, but anyway, to be named amongst one of those, that's quite something.
That's very cool.
Oh yes, and I'm pretty sure that stays as one of the weirdest experiences for me, because of course when I was a youngster, James Hetfield was big idol. And then I start to play one, then I look, he starts to sing just like Mikko is now, so close there. Then I said, kind of, we didn't expect this when we started.
Right.
But on the other hand, it's pretty fucking weird also that we have been so well adapted actually into this world. We have done so much already that it's nothing like actually too strange. It's just natural that of course I get to play here now with James Hetfield. but still, like, during playing, trying to realize that this is kind of absurd still. And that was the first, and I guess he said that it was the first time he sang ever without himself playing, guitar. So lovely
it turned
evening.
out awesome. I heard the recordings. I wish I could have been there.
Oh yeah.
Do you guys have a lot of downtime on this tour? You guys do anything for fun in your days off?
Well, we have only up time.
We have actually quite a lot of time to spend, and people do whatever people do.
But now, the first time, at least for me, but this has been an amazing sports tour. Like, everybody is like losing weight, manically doing sit-ups, push-ups all the time, and no eating. And
we even involved our crew to that. I was just in a bus, and our monitor engineer came there to do push-ups. Like, it's going soon. It's going wrong.
Hand.
Yeah, it's out of hand. But we always have. I think all the bands actually have quite a lot of free time during the tours, and it's a romantic way to say that it's so busy, and all. It's not. And then it's time to relax or sleep or play games or read or whatever people do.
Right. Always when we travel with the coach, with the bus, it's easy.
Yeah, flying is hell. Yeah, that sucks.
In Europe, we many times, or in South America, we got to do those tours that every single day there is like minimum 4-hour flight, 6-hour flight, and then straight to concert, and then sleep for 2 hours.
Then there's no time.
So this is even like a holiday.
Holiday.
Holiday all around US. We went already throughout the entire continent.
Right.
So
So what's next after this tour? You guys
we come back. We come back for May, June.
Yeah, we have 2 weeks off. We do some promotion, big TV shows in Europe, and then we are almost 5 weeks, as Perttu said, in US doing headlining shows. Then a
couple of those big festivals like Rocklahoma, Rock and Range.
Yeah, and after that part, we go to Europe to do a couple of big festivals in Dunnington and a few in Finland and Baltic countries. And then in the fall, it might be that we come here again. And then we do big headlining tour in Europe. That's really big tour for us. We do a tour in UK. We do a big tour in Russia, and we try to make it back by Christmas to home. We hope.
And back in States probably in February.
Latest February.
we are going to tour for 2 years.
Yeah.
That's more or less constantly all the time. But we are well prepared, and actually. At least at the moment, come to ask after one year, but at the moment we are so excited, and I for example personally, I have never enjoyed playing so much as now.
Very cool.
So,
Well, awesome guys, thank you for taking time to talk to me.
Thank you. Sorry for the noise.
That's all right. Thank you, and you guys have a great show tonight.
Thank you. Are you able to stay?
Yeah, I'll be out there taking pictures.
That's great.
And I'm looking forward to it.
Thank you very much.
It's going to be a lot of fun.
Here, I need to go.